Welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday. It's the big thing. We got a lot to talk about, man. We've got the Skeleton Crew moving until 2024, the end of. It looks like the Acolyte's going to be the first Star Wars series that comes out. The live-action Zelda, it's got a little bit more details there. There's a lot to talk about. There's so many stories that we have. But one of the really fun things today, too, is I got my buddy Jamie Costa in studio today with myself and Steph. And Jamie's got a lot going on, like a lot. And we're going to talk to him about that and more. And one of the things I really want to talk to Jamie about, too, which I think you guys hear me on this show often talking about how I think social media can really kind of do a hit on your well-being. And I think everybody knows that. But I think Jamie is a testament to the fact that he took a break, took a big break. He's not on social media anymore, and his career's kind of going since. And we'll talk to him about that. I think it's kind of an important conversation to have. Not that I want everybody should leave social media. It's not the point. Point is that take a break here and there. Stop screaming at trees. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. It's myself. It is Jamie Costa, Steph Sabra on the big thing today. Make sure if you haven't done it already, hit that button right there, man. It is getting us close. We're almost at 110,000 already. And if we can get to 200 faster than we got to 100, I want to build that community. I want you to be part of that community. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are found. It's the big thing. Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the big thing. It's myself, Steph Sabra in the house, and joining us in the Christmas spirit, Jamie Costa. What's up, Jamie?
What's up?
Use that microphone. You're a professional.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done a voice in front of a microphone ever.
You are lying, sir. We're excited to have Jamie back in studio. It's been a bit since he's been in studio. We talk often. Normally, Jamie will a lot of Star Wars texts, which I love, and we get into that. We talk about some things that are happening. I think it's probably the first thing we can really get into is the moving of the Skeleton Crew and Acolyte. So I want to talk about that first, and then I want to dive into what you got going down because you got a shit ton. All right, let's do it. First things first. All right, this is coming from Star Wars Newsnet. Disney Plus only confirms 2 Star Wars series coming out in 2024, which are the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, from our good buddy Miguel Fernandez. In a new press release from Disney Plus UK, the platform has provided a list of some of the titles that we should expect from them in 2024, including Star Wars. Regarding those, they've only listed 2, the Acolyte and the Skeleton Crew. 3 other series were at some point announced to be coming next year: the second and final season of Andor, the third and final season of Bad Batch, and the second season of Tales of the Jedi. As it's been widely reported, the SAG-AFTRA strike had halted production on the Diego Luna-led series a few weeks before it was set to wrap, and they still don't know if they've been able to resume shooting. Therefore, they may be playing coy about announcing a 2024 date just yet. As far as the Bad Batch goes, just last week, it seems like the most likely candidate to be coming out first next year, as head writer Jennifer Corbett teased they were in the middle of final mixing the season. Tales of the Jedi is an unknown entity at the moment, since the last update we got from it was back at Celebration, when a press release confirmed a 2024 release, though it didn't elaborate further. This is not a case where they are only listing live-action projects, and Marvel Studios did include their upcoming X-Men 97 animated show. Perhaps they're just being cautious about what to confirm. As far as the order goes, it is impossible to predict. Skeleton Crew wrapped months before the Acolyte, though it's possible that they need reshoots and they could do them during the summer because of the strikes. For now, all we have is log lines, which had already been announced, but then they list that. So, all right, there's quite a few things here to discuss. And as far as Andor goes, and I know I'm going to start with you, Steph, here with Andor, because you and I are on the same page writing-wise, and that was your favorite show of the year, Andor, when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart move, even though I'm bummed that we got to wait for Andor because I also love it. I think it's a smart move because it does not connect into the other Filoni-verse. It just connects into Star Wars in general, but it doesn't connect into the Filoni-verse. So who cares if you debut it a little later, because you'll have people excited about it, probably do better on the initial amounts of streams. And I don't know, people will be kind of more hyped up, and then you have a guaranteed kind of show people are excited about in 2025.
Right. I think, like what you said, it's a little bit confusing for people who are not quite understanding the Filoniverse going on right now and the lead up to the big movie happening. It makes sense that you would push this back. And this one, I feel like, is more about actual SAG. You know, they had to delay it. They announced that. So there's nothing weird going on there.
Right.
And that makes sense to me in terms of the overall vision. I think the other two kind of have more to do with them figuring out what's next.
Yeah. Jamie, what do you think about this?
Well, which part?
The Acolyte part. I mean, excuse me, the Andor part.
Just when it shifted?
Potentially, look, they did say that we don't know if it's necessarily not coming out in 2024. It's just not announced that it is. I think it'll probably be early 2025, and I don't think that hurts, especially if you want to because you have two shows still coming out. You still got Acolyte. You still have, which also doesn't connect into any of the Filoniverse stuff, and if you can create that years before excitement, you know, and maybe then you can start to do that in 2025, 2026, more shows that connect in that
And that's
era.
what Acolyte does, right? It stokes the fire for the prequel.
It comes
right?
out. I think it's. I always forget they listed, but I think it's like 100 years before Phantom Menace. I think
That's cool.
something like that. It is cool, and
Yeah.
I think that is like the end of the High Republic. So I don't think this is a bad move. I think it actually could help more than hurt.
What comes out? Do we know in the fall of next year for Star Wars?
Just
for shows?
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, really?
Skeleton Crew is 2024.
So that's that slot.
Yeah, so that connects into the Filoniverse. And
Okay.
that's another reason why I think, as far as why would you put that if it's done first, because
that one's done.
That one's done
in the can. Andor's not in the can.
Andor, no, because they were like filming, they were mid filming, or there was a lot of stuff they
During
were
the
trying.
strike.
Yeah, like right before the strike happened, like they had just finished. Like the writer's strike was going on, and Gilroy was still going to try to do some stuff, but then he couldn't, so he stopped, and then the actor strike, and then it just was done. Because again, with Andor, sure, it makes sense. 2025, fine. People will be able to wait and a bit more. It's like a big movie anyway, so it's fine. Skeleton Crew, people are, well, why wouldn't you put that out first if it was done first? And I think the reason why is also if you're building up to Filoni's movie in 2026, and that's connected to it, then get it all like 2020, the end of 2024 Skeleton Crew. Then 2025, the beginning of it would be like Mandalorian season 4, and then then you get Ahsoka around season 2 somewhere in beginning of 2026, and then you do the movie, and then it all it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. You have like Ahsoka's and all kinds of shows like coming out with it.
They haven't announced Ahsoka season 2 yet, but it's kind of inevitable.
But we know the Thrawn stuff's all on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that would connect into the movie, the big movie.
yeah. So I imagine they're going to try to keep pushing that.
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
know.
like Andor? I forget.
I liked Andor. I just wish they slid the quality that they loaned to that show to the Kenobi show.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Because it felt like they knew Kenobi would do well, so they just kind of made it like, all right, friends, family, just enjoy the show real quick.
Less
and
budget,
get it out of our system. But I would have rather, kind of done a more gritty, high quality production value loan to the Kenobi
Well,
series.
I actually have Ewan McGregor on the phone right now, and he told me a little bit about why he thinks that happened, and they gave the budget to Andor. Hold on a second. Ewan, can you confirm to me why it was that the budget of Andor had a little bit more than Obi-Wan?
Well, I don't know about budget, but I can tell you that I thought I was on Endor.
Oh.
And then they told me it was Kenobi.
Oh, you weren't sure right away.
No, I'm not sure about anything these days, Harloff.
Oh. Fair enough. Okay, so do you realize that it actually has aired on Disney Plus? Season 1.
Has it premiered?
It's premiered. Yeah, and you were in it.
Do you know how many seasons?
Well, I think you said you wanted more than one, but it's not happening. Were you like?
No, I told them not to name it Obi-Wan.
Oh, you did. What did you want to name it?
I just said Kenobi would be fine.
I think you're right. Thank you, Ewan.
He thought he was in Andor. That's crazy news.
It is breaking here first.
Yeah.
Cover that, Miguel. So yeah, going back to it, I just think that it does, and it goes back to the Marvel conversation too, where they're scaling back of putting so much out.
Yeah.
2 shows is great.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, 1 show a year is great, but 2 shows is great. It's like, okay, give me Acolyte in the middle, end it with Skeleton Crew, and then get me excited for 2025, baby. That's it. You'll have Andor and Mandalorian, right?
I mean, I loved that Tales of the Jedi animation one.
I loved it too.
That was really good.
I guess I mean live action too is good because
Right.
I think Bad Batch still probably conclude, right? And then and then you'll have Tales. I would love to see Tales of the Sith.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be way
Do you think
better.
they'll do that?
No, they're
Not
too scared.
because they did like Dooku, right?
Yeah.
Story. So I feel like that's kind of
Right, but
intertwined.
but it is kind of Tales of the Jedi because it's his descent
Right.
away from it's into madness, if you will. But
Yeah.
like, I would love to see just a full on Sith Tales of the Sith. Show me the origins.
Plagueis.
I want to
of
see an
Revan,
evil
all of it.
baby
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
turned in like progressing as an evil child to an evil adult.
Show me Bane, man.
Yeah.
Show me Bane. Like, look at what Bane would. If they actually took the story that Drew Karpyshyn came up with in those novels, that he was a very damaged dude. Like, he had a terrible relationship with his father, and he went, and it was during the time where the Sith were as legions of Sith, and he joined the ranks, and he joined it as like kind of a lonely soldier, and kind of made his way up the ranks and just became more and more ruthless, and showing that the elevation of like the most evil Sith of all time and why would be amazing. And in animated, who cares? Whatever it
Right.
is.
The rule of two came under him. Or, yeah.
Yeah, because he basically, the entire army was fighting the Jedi and they couldn't beat him, and they kept trying to beat him, they couldn't, and he figured out the reason why is because we keep trying to kill each other because we're trying to crave power from one another and we're never on the same page. He's like, there's only one, and he did like it was like a thought, I think it was the thought bomb or whatever it was, and he wiped out all of them and then trained one apprentice. He killed every single Sith, and he wiped them out and just made one. He said, that's the only way you got to have, because they're always going to crave power. So you got to have the apprentice, and when the apprentice becomes strong enough to overtake the master, then they've earned it, and then the apprentice will kill the master, and
that rule stays.
it's been. I mean,
They would never go back. They would never
It
go,
was redacted.
maybe more is better.
There was an amendment.
I hope. I mean, who knows? Maybe they could. Maybe that would be something. Because the other story we can kind of transition to is that Daisy Ridley, of course, said, and as she should, that the script blew her away. And I keep saying Stephen DeKnight and Stephen Knight. They're two different people. Stephen Knight wrote Peaky Blinders, wrote the script, and then it absolutely has the opportunity to be really great, and I'm rooting for it. But it's nothing against her. Any actor is going to say, this blew me away. This was great, because you want to hype it up, of course.
Right.
But apparently it's filming in, I think, April of 2024. So
Oh, they're moving on to that.
yeah, because that's going to debut in May of 2025.
Wow.
So no, that's not true. May of 2026. So but they'll have like 2 years to really put it together. So
I know that I agree when you said one show a year is fine, and it totally is good. But it is like, who are we in 2026?
right.
Like, I don't even know what
Are we here?
Yeah, are we still
Have the
here?
aliens come
Yeah,
here yet?
yeah.
Are there humans on the earth?
Right, like
Full
that's
disclosure.
a long time.
It's true.
We're one of the biggest entertainment companies of all time.
We haven't had a movie since this will be the 2019. It'll be the
2019.
biggest break the Lucasfilm has had with Star Wars since Jedi to Phantom Menace. Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
There'll be so many. I mean, that's not, if you're Disney, you're not happy about that. If you're the audience, you're like, okay, it feels a little bit more special now. I haven't had a movie in a while. I'm getting 2 in 2026. So, okay. But if you're Disney, you're going to be like, let's go. We bought this thing to make money on, and we're losing our ass this year. Where is Star Wars? And it's like, because the Patty Jenkins movie was supposed to come out this month.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out this month. They announced it.
I remember that video.
Yeah, when they announced it, it was December 2023. And
They've announced a lot of things.
Yeah.
yes, they have. It's
We,
true.
we all know.
It is
Why we
very
have
true.
trust
It's in
issues.
shuffle.
Yeah.
It's in big shuffle. There's nothing like really for sure on the path, right?
Yeah.
Except for the shows that have already shot.
The
and
shows
then
that have shot in the 2
likely
movies.
this Daisy Ridley.
That's
new
pretty
thing.
much confirmed. I mean, they're all confirmed, but those are the ones that are like they're already shooting and planning to, and she's talking about it. So that one's it's definitely coming out in 2026. The Filoni is the other question. It's like they've announced his movie. The question is, does it come out when they say it will?
Yeah.
I think with him in the position that he's in now, it's definitely gonna come out.
Right.
The question is when. I think December to them is silly if they leave it off the table. They made December the new summer in 2015 with Force Awakens.
Then they skipped one, and they decided to lob
Solo
ahead instead of letting it do
should have waited
in December.
Yes,
they tried to rush it right up next to and after and amidst Avengers too.
Right. Yes.
I think they did that on purpose.
Well, that was an Iger thing. Iger has talked about that. They had in 2016 they put out Last Jedi.
And then like 6 months later, they acted like, yeah, sure, here's also Solo.
Let's go back to May. And Kathleen Kennedy actually didn't want to do that. She wanted it to come out in December of 2017.
Which I think would have been proper.
It would have made more money. It wouldn't have changed the movie, but it would
maybe could have. They could have had time.
Some more to edit and stuff too, possibly. But for the most part, there was nothing really else out in that year it would have made money. It would have made more money.
What was the big Star Wars thing that December? Like the new game or something?
I don't remember what actually came out. I don't know. I don't remember.
Or I guess Mando seasons.
That didn't come out until 2020, end of 2019.
No, there was nothing.
Yeah, nothing. There was nothing. It was
shit.
It was, they doubled up on it, and then because of that, they were planning on doing 2 movies a year. But then because Solo, they put it out right, and Last Jedi at that point was very divisive amongst the fans, and there was this kind of like this fight that was happening between the fan base, and they're like, oh, here's this movie that nobody asked for. Here it is. And then
while you guys are fighting,
chew
on that.
Here it is. Here it is. Take this. And
May the 4th.
Yeah, and it's funny.
With Han.
Do you know who pushed for it hard to come out in December of that year?
No.
Was actually, I think he actually pushed for it to come out in October on Halloween. Was Harrison Ford? I got him on the phone. Hold on. Harrison, why did you want this movie to come out on Halloween of 2016?
Which movie are we talking about?
We're talking about Solo, sir. I know you weren't in it, but you wanted it to come out on Halloween.
I don't do Star Wars anymore.
Yes, I definitely am aware. I'm sad about it, but I get it. But you wanted it to come out on Halloween.
Have you seen the new Indy Jones?
I did. Did you? How did you feel about that one, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And can you pass any of the stuff that you're on at the moment to me?
Well, someone mentioned if I said something, I'd get some money.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Steph, I've got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, Steph, do you have anything you want to ask Mr. Ford?
How are you feeling about the de-aging?
Well, I feel pretty good about my age.
Right.
Fair enough.
But they all I know is George told me years ago that they had the technology.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they did it. So, well, look, I'll let you go back to your nap, and I appreciate you calling into the... Oh, good night, sir. It's nice seeing you. So, either way, we got more Star Wars coming out, so that's a good thing for everybody. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good move, bad move that they're putting it out when they are? All of it, the movies, the TV shows. Do you think spacing it out is the move we happen to? And we're curious what you think. So go ahead and leave your comments. Now, before we move on, I wanted to talk to you guys about both DraftKings Casino and AG1. Here we go. Unwrap the first of many presents this season with holidays on the house from DraftKings Casino. With hundreds of games, prizes, promos, DraftKings Casino has everything on your list. Right now, new players who play $5 get $100 instantly in casino credits. What are you waiting for? Cozy up with all the classics like slots, blackjacks, roulette, or play exclusive games that you're only going to find at DraftKings Casino to feel the holiday cheer all along. Download the DraftKings Casino app now and sign up with the promo Big Thing. Use that code Big Thing and play $5 to get $100 in casino credits. That is promo code Big Thing only at DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly, 21 and up. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only, void in Ontario. One per opt-in new customer, minimum $5 deposit. max match 500 in casino credits, which require one-time playthrough within 7 days. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/player's choice for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. All right, guys, let's talk about AG1. You guys know I love AG1. If you've been listening to my show, you've heard me talk about them, and I've been drinking them for about 2 years now, and I love it. Never been a vitamins guy. I've told you that. I take it all one shot, AG1. I put it in a water bottle. I shake it up. I'm good to go. I recommend AG1 to my friends. I recommend AG1 to my family. Everybody. AG1 is a team of doctors and scientists. It is tested for 950 contaminants and NSF certified for sport. It is formulated based on the latest science and maintains high quality standards. You guys know they've been with us for a while because you guys know too. You've all been checking them out, and everybody who's been signing up to AG1 says the same thing. It's changed your energy. It's changed how you approach things in a day. You're smiling more. You're running around the place, and you're sleeping better. I know. AG1 is the supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why they've been a partner for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. Check it out. All right, thank you to our friends over at DraftKings Casino and AG1. Very, very excited to have them both on the show. If you are able to and you have the means to support, please consider one of our wonderful sponsors. It helps out the show more than you can possibly imagine. Okay, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, social media to me is always a thing where I'm like, it sucks a lot of times. Like I now post and run, as I call it. I post my shows, I get out of there when I see people kind of saying things or tagging me, and I don't even read the hurtful shit. I just mute them, and you never see them ever again, because it can play. I had a conversation with a friend yesterday who still tries to. It's an addiction, right? Tries to pull back on it and can't help themselves from tweeting out stuff. And I said, "What are you doing?" It's like, it's not. Who are you trying to win over? Jamie, you were on social media for quite a while, and you chose to take not even take a break, just quit it altogether. Because did you think, now were you advised, because of your career, were you advised by, I don't know, by your team or anybody, like, not to do that?
I mean, I wish I had a team to advise me.
Okay.
At the time. No, it's just something I had brewed on for a while. That year was a crazy year when I left 2020, and I felt decay going on with humanity on there, and it's just something for myself on the journey that I was like, I have a feeling this is good. This is good to trim out and just like a cleanse, you know. And then in hindsight, since I've left, I picked up on a lot of
that's what you were saying
pluses.
Yeah, your career's kind of taking a big boom from it, right?
Who knew?
Yeah.
Like, things have actually spiked since I left career-wise, which a lot of people, would be like, watch out, you got to have that to promote your work.
Right.
And I'm sure it's true. You know, you can use that. But it only can maybe help you.
Right.
It can't hurt you to leave. It can only maybe help you to have it.
Because you can, and here's a perfect example of that. You can still do things, and social media can help you, but you don't have to be the one running it, right? Like, so for example,
yeah, you don't have to run it.
No, when all that stuff happened with you, when like so to tell people, like, this is a few years ago, whatever it was. Jamie and I have been friends for almost like 10 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for about 10 years, and Jamie told me that he was working on this thing with Jake, which was the Robin Williams thing. And they sent me this scene, and it was just, it brought tears to my eyes and blew me away. And I told Jamie as much when I saw it. And I said, if this thing ever comes out, it's just going to be massive. And it did. And it came out, and it went viral, and everybody was covering it. And so what is that like when that's going down? Is that like overwhelming? Is it like what are the emotions going through? Because I think I've never seen anything go like that viral so quick, where everybody's covering it, like this is magic.
I've lived through the viral stuff several times through, or like early on, you know, before Robin's passing, when I started to hit the scene on fan films, and I think the first bigger thing was like some Wolverine fan film I had done way back, and it just, you know, skyrocketed. Then I found Vine and things and did impressions, and I was on other people's like viral shorts and stuff. And then, just in waves of virality, you go through what it's like, you know, to like have a massive amount of attention.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like. I still don't kind of like it if it's, you know, too much in your face and not allowing you to do your deal. But I remember way back when I first bucketed followers on Vine, my knees quaked. You know, it's weird when you don't have attention in your life like that, and then all of a sudden you got 10,000 people within seconds following you and chiming at you and whatever.
Sure.
And then so then I had other viral videos go out, and then but they were different back then when the Robin scene went out. That proof of concept.
Yeah.
That shook the world for only about 2 weeks, and then it kind of everyone goes back to doing their things, right?
Right.
And in 2015 or before, when I had other things, I had like Gandalf impression videos or something go off. Those lasted longer because of where the world was with everything in tech and social algorithm, I guess, or whatever. So it is weird and different to kind of go through it at different stages in our life.
Yeah.
With how the algorithms and everything works.
Right.
It was interesting. 2 weeks of just like, but I'm not on socials, so it was kind of nice.
Right.
So you don't
Jake
feel that.
Jake took the majority.
So
of
Jake
it.
has to take all the attention for that. But I mean, you get emailed and everybody trying to chase you down for that hot zone.
Can I ask, does anything come of it, or we don't?
Oh, I think something will come of it.
Okay, you do think something will come of it?
Yes, and of course we've always been in talks, all the things.
Yeah.
But as we've discussed, it's got to be at the right time, right, team on it. But I personally I've wrestled with it. I've told Harloff this for years. I wrestled with the ethics of doing a portrayal of him, and then what that looks like to bank off of that.
Right.
And I've always wrestled with that.
Yeah, because your thing, and that's what people need to be very aware of, because I saw it, and it made me mad when people are saying, some people had said that about it, and I go, you don't know Jamie. Jamie has the utmost respect and love for this man, and everything that he did inside of that scene was to honor him and honor his legacy. And I even saw that, and I even saw the post that his daughter had posted, and she said the same thing. She's like, it's not Jamie's performance, it's that you're sending me this all the time. Jamie's performance is fantastic, and I respect Jamie.
Yeah, that was the Williams family are amazing. They're nice. They're just super cool. Everything. And then when that proof got put up, because we got to a point where we were trying to like stoke the fire of like, okay, maybe this is a thing.
Right.
Let's test it out. Let's develop it. And part of that development was shooting a proof concept, which is my idea. Everyone else was like, you don't need that, and I'm like, I need it.
Yeah.
And I think people who we want to talk to take us seriously need that. So we did that, and it kind of sat, and then it got out. We pushed it out, and then it got overwhelming in 5 days, and then I saw, the attention it was getting, and for the Williams family in particular, I was like, didn't calculate that, and I was like, ooh, I don't like that, and as a sign, I took it down on my channel.
Yeah.
Of course, it goes out.
Right.
But I was like, that was just a thing we were sitting on. So we decided, let's put it out and everything. But it didn't need to be out. We were just like, well, we made it, so we may as well put it out.
Yeah.
So it was a wake that was crazy to witness, obviously. But yeah, I think it opened up doors too of discussion.
Did you have something, Seth?
Yeah, well, because the part that sparked so much interest is like how many good things have come your way now that you've been off social media. Because from my side of things, there's this pressure as a creator where you're seeing like a lot of the SNL cast members are coming from social media. Like the biggest comedian people are talking about right now, Matt Rife, is coming from social media.
Yeah.
And so you're like, is it possible? But from your end, what have you been working on that's like outside of how do you work around that?
Yeah, and that's what channels your focus too. Is like, all right, now I'm not like kind of concerning myself with, letting the world know I'm working.
Right.
Hashtag actor's life.
Right.
No, you're just more concentrated on like what you got to do to make money and live.
Right.
So you really start to hone in on the crafts and stuff like that. So like not being on socials kind of geared my focus, I think, in the right place, and really made me channel myself of just really developing the craft further. With I have an acting coach who really helped me change my course of career too. Myra Turley, I gotta shout her out. But since then, I've as a producer as well, as a filmmaker, concerned myself with the things that are more lucrative in the real world of the industry. And so, movies, features, dramas, action, all the jazz, thankfully that started to be more on the table.
It's like you forget that there's jobs outside of the social media.
Yeah, which is it's funny you mention it, because there were jobs that I discovered through it,
right?
Then took off of it, because when I left socials, I actually maintained a relationship with Manscaped, and I produced over 30 commercials with them, and so like that was some nice bread and butter, and then that led to other companies I've produced commercials with, and so that became a whole nice focus and exercise on filmmaking. And then the acting thing, chasing that all the while. Voiceover, as you know, like is a big part of what I do. And it did. It started to follow and had nothing to do with social what my weight would carry with bringing that. But initially, yes.
Okay. So it's like you took what you needed and you ran.
Yeah, it was kind of a Batman Begins moment in my brain about like jump without the rope.
Right.
Well, but let's talk about some of that stuff, man. Like some of the things that really kind of started to come your way afterwards, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
right away in January we got something big coming out,
Yes.
and you said this is already available, I think, on streaming in some countries, but not in the U.S. yet. And so, Bring Him to Me with Barry Pepper, Sam Neill, Rachel Griffiths. Sorry, so you go. First of all, tell us I've seen the trailer, but for people who don't know, what's the story about?
It's awesome. I'm really excited for it because it is a good story. Mm-hmm. Great characters. Barry and I lead the film, and we arc, through the whole thing. And it's a crime thriller. It's a drama. All the things. But I don't want to give anything away. But its premise came to the writer from watching the scene of Casino when they bring him out to the cornfield and kill him. Spoiler.
Yeah.
And
it's an old movie. It's okay.
Love that scene. Hate
but
that
you
scene.
know it's coming,
Right?
So that there's a lot of that in this movie. That there's a demise on the horizon that we don't know what that's going to look like. But you're watching this journey heading towards it.
Okay.
Knowing that they're heading towards a demise, we don't know what that looks like yet.
But Barry's character is kind of like the careered hitman. Is that right? And then
that's it. Yep.
And then so your character's kind of gets thrown into this mix. That's what I got from the trailer.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what's Sam Neill's part in all this? Can you say
Sam's a wonderful baddie?
Okay, great.
He's a bad guy, and he plays a bad guy so well.
So, dude, you're such a movie fan, and like you're such you must have been like geeking out. Because,
I was geeking.
Of course you were, because like you got Barry Pepper's in one of my favorite movies of all time, in Saving Private Ryan, and Samuel obviously from Jurassic Park. Right. So like, did you ever do the Jeff Goldblum for him?
I did.
Tell me the story.
Well, it took a day for me to. I'm usually pretty good about starstruckiness or whatever, but Sam Neill did it to me. I was like, oh, yeah. It took me about a day to get it out of my system.
Tell me the story. Tell me exactly how, like, what happens. How do you get it out of your system? How do you approach him?
Well, he's a generous guy. He's like a Harrison Ford, where they've got this like grumpy uncle but funny, endearing charisma. And then when you're sharing scenes with them, they get really cool with you. Yeah. Yeah, I I have a couple good stories about him.
Please.
But no, we were filming one day, and I just was like, I got to do this, for my friend's sake, really. Mm-hmm. About doing my Jeff Goldblum for for Sam Neill. So I go, Sam, listen, do you mind? I've been known to do a few impressions. Can I do my Jeff Goldblum for you? My friends would kill me if I didn't, because Jurassic Park's one of my big things. And he's like, sure, okay. And I'm like, Sam, look at where we're at. We're not running and just screaming anymore. No. But we are still making movies. Life found a way. And then he like looks at me like, this is his way of laughing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I'm like, thanks. And he goes, yeah, Jeff. Jeff knows how to make a meal out of 3 words. And I'm like, oh, that's so good.
Amazing.
That's just a great line.
Amazing. Yeah, it's really great. So you're able to do that, and then now when you got this role, did that come from off of what we were just talking about? Did it come from the attention that you gotten from the short? Or was it
no. So the director Luke Spark had seen me in a Star Wars fan film.
Amazing. Which one? The Obi-Wan one?
One that I didn't make.
Wow.
Yeah. Phil Hawkins, he whipped together one called Star Wars Origins.
Okay.
And we shot it in Morocco, and it's kind of an homage to George Lucas. And it's like an Indy Jones mix thing with Star Wars. It's like it's interesting. And then, but he saw me in that and just always kept me around in his mind. And he asked me to read for a movie called Primitive War that I think is going to finally hit the slate in February.
Okay.
And so he had my tape from that, and he really liked it. And he's like, cool. We want you. That didn't get made at the time, but they went right into a production of Bring 'Em to Me last year. Okay. And they just remembered me from that tape, and I didn't have to read for it. And he just said, "Listen, would you like to just play the role with Barry?"
This is a big role. This is like
huge.
This is like this.
My big thing.
It's a huge role.
That's amazing.
It's my launch for sure.
Great, dude. And
so after that, it trailed into a series of features over the last year.
Right. But before we and we'll talk about all of it. But I got to talk about because Barry. Because you're sharing the majority of the time with him though too, and the same thing. What's that relationship like when you first meet him?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Working with him, and how does that all go down?
Well, here's the thing. All of them, Barry, Rachel, Sam, they're all very colorfully different. Yeah. So seeing them in a pot together is just fascinating. Yeah. And I'm like the new kid on the block amidst them. So it is like fun to be pinged off of, you know. But they're all very different in their processes, but very, very colorful people. They're just fun to be around. You're like, wow, you're exactly what, we think of. Like when you think of Harrison Ford, you think of charisma and stuff like that. Yeah. When he's in the room, they light it up. So it is fun to like witness that firsthand, but then see them very human. Yeah. And and Sam, this is another cool story. Sam, speaking of Robin, he came up to me out of nowhere, and he's like, I worked with Robin. And I'm like...
And you guys didn't even talk about it.
I didn't even prompt it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's right, Bicentennial Man. He's like, yes, Bicentennial Man. And he was just so cool about like sharing some interesting stories between him and Robin and stuff. It was just really just a generous thing for him to like...
It's awesome.
Just do.
It's really great. And speaking of, so as we were bringing up Robin and other stuff, do comedies, switching away, because this is a drama, this movie. This is not a comedy.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Now, you're working on something right now that's pretty special, too, with sketch comedy. Am I allowed to show the trailer and I won't get it taken down off my channel?
No.
Okay.
No. You get exclusive.
I'll show here's the channel. Here is the trailer, and it's called comedy. It's called Halfway Handsome.
That's a great title.
Halfway Handsome. Here's the trailer.
And they got the 2 for $20, so we could do the 2 for $20. They could do the 2 for $20.
I'm down for that.
Which is $40.
I think
and then 8 Long
Boy,
Island.
is this the I've been called for the comedy show? Yes it is. Come on in.
Yeah, you got an idea for our sketch show? Go ahead and pitch it.
Well, mate, I'm thinking, what if like Christopher Walken was like a hockey coach? And I'm like thinking, maybe it's called like walking on thin ice, like, fellas, come on, skate in there,
smacking into the back of the nut, baby. Watch out for the great Zamboni.
Nope. We don't like that idea. We're not gonna buy it from you today. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Bye. That was actually really good. Write that one down.
All right, what are you guys looking for? This, you looking for sketches or what? What is this thing, huh?
Yeah, sketches, characters, anything funny, really.
Well, I got a funny idea for you. What if there's this guy, right? He eats too much of his mom's spaghetti, then he immediately goes into the bathroom, gets it everywhere, all over her new rug, ruins it when he gots to go. You gots to go, you know what I mean?
Okay, so we open up on a handsome young guy with a long, beautiful, flowing ponytail, and for his love interest, we cast a hot actress, and they have a kissing scene. And I was thinking I could play the guy, and depending on the day, the intimacy coordinator, if they think we need to go further, I'm up for, kind of game for anything. I did have a few ideas of who we might be able to cast. Margot Robbie, of course. Zoe Kravitz.
You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. I hate you. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
That's Star Wars.
Nah, I dreamed that.
Oppenheimer, the musical.
Oh. All right. Did you bring in a little sample for us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now? Yeah. I heard there was a nuclear bomb that Cillian Murphy built, but he knew it was wrong. Oppenheimer.
Was that a secret chord you were playing?
Okay, I once had this buddy, he faked a heart attack to get out of paying for his meal. It was a real fancy restaurant, didn't have to pay the bill at all. It was great. And that's a sketch right there, I tell you that.
Write that one down.
Comedy.
Well, we got the matching tracksuits. That's got to be something funny there, right?
That's humorous, that's a sketch.
This is the nude sketch class, right?
No.
Wait, hold on. Let's see where he's going with this. Florence Pugh, Megan Fox, Anne Hathaway, Dr. Jill Biden.
So this guy, he's part of a book club, right? And he gets to the book club, and he didn't read the book.
No.
Nah.
No.
Who gives you 40-somethings the right to make a comedy show, right?
40-somethings? I take it as a compliment. It means we're mature.
Oh.
You guys aren't even like Hollywood handsome. I mean, look at this guy. You guys are like halfway handsome.
Well, yeah. That's actually why we named it that.
Oh, look at that. That's small world.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I get it. It's called halfway handsome because, like two of you are like handsome, the other two, is that it, Mike?
Okay, so halfway handsome, new sketch comedy show, Jamie Costa. So Jamie, tell me a little bit about the about what's going on with it and what the goal is as far as getting it off the ground.
Yeah. So we all need to laugh.
Yes, that yeah.
I think we all do. And so, anyways, I found these guys on another show that they had cast me on. They have 3 seasons of a show called The Beach Boys.
Okay.
And I came and guest starred on a show with them, but we just fell in love with each other. And so we've just been talking ever since. And earlier this year, we're like, let's get together. Let's do a sketch comedy show, like Key and Peele style, or I Think You Should Leave, or something. And so we just started hammering at it. And so now, we've got 2 seasons worth of episodes written.
What?
They're the magic on that too. Like they're just so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're raising funds, about $15K, just to shoot out our pilot season.
That's what we're aiming for, $15K? Okay.
Yeah, and then in January of this coming year, we'll shoot out that pilot season and shop it to the Hulus of the world and whoever, you know, and see where it lands.
Perfect. And I actually am putting the link in the description, so if you want to, if you should, you see Jamie and his group make this a reality, please go ahead and check it out today. So the trailer. Now, do you know that Steph has been doing a lot of the improv?
So I hear.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you hear. And then you and I talked a little bit, but you want to tell her what we talked about?
Well, I hope you're okay with this, but I proposed the idea after talking with Harloff that maybe you might want to star on the show on maybe an episode or two.
Enchanté. I would love to.
We'd love to have you as a guest star.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
It'd be cool.
That cut was so good.
And that's just our pledge video.
Yeah, I know. That's what I like about that. It's like, I feel like it's such a good proof of concept in a unique way. I would love to.
Yeah, I would love to see
Hell
you on there.
yeah.
So there we go. So again, guys, now, even more incentive, if you didn't have some before, to even really go over there and check it out and pledge your support. You get to see Steph on the season as well, too. So please, go ahead and check it out.
The moral of the story is if you want to see Steph.
That's it.
Right.
Just Steph.
In Halfway Handsome, come on over.
That's it.
I also think 15K is, like, I mean,
Way doable, yeah.
That's so doable.
Oh, yeah. Well, we shot all that. We have 3 more videos that kind of throughout the campaign coming. We did all that in one day with nothing.
Damn.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
It shot really well.
yeah, and you'll be so what would you say? I mean, you gave some of the examples as far as what inspired you to want to do it, but if you were going to compare it to any classic kind of sketch show, what would you compare? Kids in the Hall, like what would you say?
Yes, even Auntie Donna, if you've seen any of Auntie Donna, like they're some of our favorites. But yeah, Key and Peele and Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave are really prime examples for format that we're aiming for.
That's so great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a good time to do it too. And you've been continuing to be busy, man. You got some stuff coming over too. And how much can you talk about working with Marvel a little bit? What's going on?
Yeah. Loaning Voices out.
Yeah.
2 different. I'm in there 2 different times.
You can't say yet what they are.
I don't think I
Okay,
can.
don't. No, I don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't think I can.
But you can say you're working with Marvel.
I can say you might catch me in an upcoming season of What If.
Okay, well then there you go. Look at that.
Carrying a
I
whole
love What
episode.
If.
So yeah, and I didn't know about it until I auditioned and I caught up on the show, and I'm like, wow, this
Isn't
is
it
really
great?
good. This is really good. So I'm really excited on that
Okay.
one. And then there's a Marvel canon experience, VR experience that I loan a main character we might be familiar with. Yeah.
I love that. So you got so much going on. You weren't lying.
It's really great that I feel like so many times people who are just funny get typecasted as just funny, you know, but you are doing like a drama, Marvel, like that's so great.
But I've always said this about you, and this is what people don't realize when they see you doing, and we play with the kind of the jukebox of the amounts of voices that you do. But one of the reasons why I've always said you're so good at what you do is that you're not an impressionist. You're an actor, and you embody these people in general. And you can tell. I was not surprised when you said you got the role with Barry Pepper and doing this drama, because you can be very serious when you want to be. You're a pretty deep dude. Like if you really talk to Jamie's you got a lot. I mean, and you've talked openly about things that you've gone through in your life and things, and you probably use all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when you did the Patrick Swayze thing, you know, you've done these things where you've had to really embody what makes somebody human more so than just doing their voice.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah.
I think we need it when we watch stuff, even if it's goofy. You got to pour out. You know, you got to put it all out on the table, because in my mind, I mean, that's at the core of what we do. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to follow our bliss, but be vulnerable with it as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that my acting coach, I have to give her the complete credit. It was like therapy working with her, because you shed your bullshit and you get to the core of who you are. And I think that's a cheat code for acting, is if the more you know yourself, the more you can play anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see that in your performances. You really do. And then you have Outpost. Tell me about Outpost.
Yeah, so that was a cool experimental short that my buddy Ben Anklam, who I've worked with a lot of things with before, He knew I'm like looking for content just to always, make and exercise the filmmaking skills and stuff like that. And so he brought a sci-fi short to me, and he goes, "Hey man, what do you think?" And then we were like, "Yeah." And like we shot it last year.
Got like a Dune vibe to it.
Very Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, it's our homage to all the things we love sci-fi. So it's got Oblivion on it. It's got Halo on it. It's got Destiny. It's got Star Wars. It's got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Literally all. Oh, and Blade Runner. Yeah, especially in it. And now it got picked up and it's on Dust. You can find it now on the Sci-Fi channel Dust, and it was super fun to make that. I really love the filmmaking on it, especially the guys. Oh my God, the team doing the VFX on the orb that Steph Barkley voices is so believable there. I love it.
What's going on with that right now?
So it got picked up on the Dust channel, Sci-Fi. If you're a sci-fi nerd, you probably know of Dust. And it's basically like, if you're like me, you wake up in the mornings and you watch like a 5-minute short film from Dust to kind of just get you brewing on the day. It's like my devotion in the morning. But yeah, they're wonderful. That was the beautiful thing too. They reached out of nowhere and they're like, "We'd love to host this short that you have their Outpost." And so that was a really cool thing, because that was always an inspiration of doing a movie or a short like those things that I always watch.
You have so much stuff going on, and there's more, I'm sure, and we're going to continue to have a lot more to talk about as you come back to talk about more of your projects. So yeah, congrats on everything that you're working on. It's just like it's very exciting. I can't wait to hear about more of it for sure. We are going to move on to a few other things. So we still got Jamie and Steph in there too, and I wanted to tell you guys about both KAJABI and Manscaped. But the funny thing is, Manscaped, I have the Genie in here from Aladdin to talk about Manscaped. Like, I never even imagined that the Genie would be able to tell me about Manscaped. And he was like, "Listen, I'm a big fan. I use Manscaped all the time." So the Genie is here right now. Genie, what do you like about Manscaped?
Wow, what do I not like? I told Al you better shave down there if you're going to get some. Oh, is that too much?
No.
Oh, all right, good.
It makes sense. What do you think it's good for the holiday seasons, Genie?
Yeah, jingle all the way, baby.
Absolutely.
You want to see those belts.
Do you think it's nice and respectful for people to take care of their loved ones by using Manscaped?
Yeah, it's respect.
Thank you. Thank you to the Genie. Let me tell you more about KAJABI and Manscaped right now. For creators out there, a lot of different creators out there, and I want to tell you guys about KAJABI. I want to tell you about them right now. I'm excited to tell you about them because if you didn't know, I think, look, I've been doing this creator thing for a long time. And what everybody strives to do is you want to be able to make enough to earn a living doing what you love. So KAJABI makes it easy, actually, to diversify your revenue. You can build your own brand. You can turn your audience into customers. Now, with the disruption of revenue streams from algorithm updates and product changes, if you're a creator and you don't use KAJABI to diversify your income beyond ad revenue and brand deals, you're leaving money on the table. And this is very true. Look, I told you, I'm planning on making a move. This is like this is my family, man. I'm everything. So this is something great. Earning a living directly from your audience is one of the most sustainable ways for creators to build a business. And you don't need a huge following to do it on KAJABI. You just don't. Creators and entrepreneurs value full ownership and control over their brand. With KAJABI, you have 100% autonomy with free customizable templates that you can make on your own, even if you're not tech savvy, and you keep what you earn. You don't have a huge audience, doesn't matter. You don't need it to make a sustainable income. There are thousands of creators on KAJABI making 6 and 7 figures with less than 50,000 followers. Try KAJABI and join the creators and entrepreneurs who have earned over $6 billion. Right now, KAJABI is offering a 30-day free trial to start your own business if you go to kajabi.com/bigthing. KAJABI.com/bigthing. Go to kajabi.com/bigthing and earn more doing what you love. Santa baby. Season for a fresh cut. It's finally here, guys. And it's a sponsor of today's show. It's Manscaped. You guys know I love Manscaped. You guys know I love Manscaped, and you should love Manscaped because I've been talking about them forever. They are the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, and they have just launched their 5th-generation performance package to help you avoid another silent night in the bedroom this year. Take care of your special snowflake with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and watch your South Pole shine like never before. That's right, baby. Let's get into it. Get the best stocking stuffer of all by going to manscaped.com. But you got to use that code BIGTHING for 20% off, free shipping, and your Mrs. Claus will thank you. Manscaped, it's a one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Performance Package 5.0, and it includes a lot of perfect stocking stuffers. Get this for someone that you love. They have so many great things. I use the Weed Whacker. I love the Weed Whacker. It's a great gift for your pops. Nose, ear hair, it's amazing. And how about boxers? Yeah, they got boxers. Take care of your chestnuts with Manscaped Boxers 2.0, featuring their signature jewel pouch to keep you calm, cool, and collected. Get 20% off, free shipping. Use that code BIGTHING, manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING. Say ho, ho, ho to a well-groomed mistletoe with Manscaped. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you again to Manscaped and KAJABI. Make sure you use those codes. Help us out, man. We get it helps out the show tremendously. It gives you guys some good gifts, and yeah, we're excited to have them on as a sponsor. So we really appreciate it. All right, let's move to some of these stories. Got a few of them. This Grand Theft Auto. Holy moly! Did that trailer everywhere I went? People are like, "Hey, you got to react to it." I was like, "I've played one of the games. I know how important. I know how. I mean, there's the most popular games of all time."
Important would have been the funniest word.
Did I say important?
You almost said important.
No.
This is the most important game of all time.
Well, it is in a certain aspect when it comes to the video game industry.
Right.
But no.
The actual game.
Right.
You guys.
No, right. So let's talk about this actual trailer, about what it's doing. Because like I said, it was everywhere. And I was also traveling. I need to tell you what my travel schedule is like over the last 24 hours.
Please.
But the YouTube copy of Rockstar's game's first trailer of Grand Theft Auto 6 racked up 90.6 million views in 24 hours. 22-hour mark, it surpassed the previous non-music video first 24-hour record of 85 million that was held by a Mr. Beast video. It couldn't quite beat the record held by the most viewed YouTube video in 24 hours ever, that being the Butter music video by K-pop sensation BTS, which amassed 108 million views in 24 hours. Still, the huge numbers aren't a surprise. Grand Theft Auto V was released a decade ago, and it broke the record for the highest revenue generated by an entertainment product in 24 hours, taking in $815.7 million from sales of 11.21 million copies on its first day. Years on, it remains the second best video game of all time, behind only Minecraft. Now, the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer has already generated a ton of memes, quite a few of which pay tribute to Michael Mann's Miami Vice movie trailer. It's also been confirmed that Grand Theft Auto 6 will not be coming to PC at launch, and there's no telling how long after that port will arrive. Instead, it will be purely a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series when it releases sometime in 2025. So, Steph, you were telling me as we were talking about this beforehand. I mean, you saw this trailer kind of caught fire. What's the major thing you were telling me about, though, or what this does?
They actually used viral images and things that happened in Florida in the video. So
I saw the woman twerking on the car.
Yeah, the woman twerking on the car, like the random alligators coming into venues, the guy with the crazy face tats with like the misspelled words on his forehead in jail.
Yeah.
Like that's all there. It's a picture for picture.
Sure, and one of the things that kind of, does it add into the overall what the story is going to be, or not as much?
Well, I think it adds in the sense that like you're in Florida, man.
Right. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in Florida. It's the best place to play GTA. Like GTA is a game where even I played it, and you question like a game that lets you stop and just like beat on strippers. Like, why are we all playing this?
Yeah. Do you know that Kurt Russell is the main voice in it? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Do you want to hear a little bit of it?
Yes.
All right. Kurt Russell here it is.
All right, buddy. Everybody get in the car. We're all going to go on a real big joyride.
That was it. That was the only. They paid him $6 million to just do that.
Worth it.
Just to do that.
I'm pre-ordering the game now.
Yeah, that's it. But Jamie, why do you think this game has such it's been out for forever. This is the sixth one, and it's still generates this type of crazy excitement for it? I mean, almost breaking the record of most views in like a day. Why do you think it is?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I imagine the nostalgia that's there for anybody growing up. I love PlayStation and stuff like that, so like I'm sure it's built in to people to just be like, let me see what this is about. And so when they release a trailer, and I think it must be a solid one too, like they must have done a good job with it. So anytime you deliver on somebody's hopes for a nostalgia, then it's like, there you go.
Well, I think you nailed it. I think that's it. The audience, the hardcore audience, obviously for games in general, but when you create the hardcore audience for the particular IP, if you're delivering each and every time on the quality of it and they're satisfied with it, they're going to keep coming back. And especially if you deliver, I mean, all I saw was how much people love this trailer and how much people were excited for this trailer. This game's going to be massive. And especially when you look at a movie and a trailer does really well, it doesn't always mean that it's going to do very well, but it also is like, okay, people, depending on what the interest is like and the comments are like, and this thing, like this is like, I mean, it does make me, after looking at all those numbers too, maybe I should have reacted to it just to look at what the hell was going on. But it does mean that this is going to be a massive game. Now, it was leaked originally, the trailer. The trailer was leaked, and then they said, no, you're not gonna do that.
You're not gonna steal our thunder.
No. And so they were like, it was supposed to come out a little later, but here's our trailer. And they posted the trailer, and then good on them that they did. They probably racked up a ton of revenue just on that freaking trailer alone.
Yeah.
So I think people are going to be pretty excited when this does come out. The question is, when will it come out? And the graphics, though, from what I saw, are just like pretty crazy.
Yeah,
too.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
It's like they already have the proof of concept. You know, everyone wants to be an outlaw and get away with stuff without actually dying by the hands of the law.
Right.
And then they just upgraded the graphics and made the story a little bit different.
It does show how crazy things are going where with the use of just CGI or the graphics in general, the way that if it looks like this today, this is again 2024 when it comes out, maybe the beginning of 2025, but is that when did it say? It said 2025. So it comes out in 2025, and look at what the graphics will be then. What are games going to look like in 2045?
It's like full virtual reality.
Right. I mean, that's what the simulation theory is, right? You know what the simulation theory is? More so it's like
Ender's Game.
Simulation theory is essentially the Matrix. Like in the fact that it's crazy to me because you guys know I've been covering the UFO UAP stuff every Tuesday, and there are more scientists, physicists in general that believe in the simulation theory being true more so than alien life has visited this planet. And so the simulation theory is essentially that we're living in the Matrix. We're living in, like, right now. This is a simulation. And like I can believe how many like people think that there's a kind of, so a lot of people think it's like a 50-50 shot. Some people think it's a 60-40 in the fact that it is. Some people think it's an 80-20. I don't know where I stand on it. I don't really have my I mean, it's like I don't know. But
That,
the only thing
that this coming is
this,
or
what
that
we're
this
doing right now.
We're already in it.
What we're doing right now. And I don't necessarily believe it, but the thing is this. What I will say is you've done VR now.
Yes.
VR today looks pretty good.
Yeah.
You know you're in a thing, but sometimes you bang your hand into a wall because you don't realize where you are.
It's really serious.
Yeah, it's really serious. Now, again, as I asked you the same question, what will VR look like in 300 years from now? Could they potentially simulate this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would probably be, I imagine will be like when they do the avatar changes, like when you're like fully sedated and then you go into your avatar body.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then so like if, the argument to them in the simulation theory is, well, why wouldn't you be able to do that now? If it was the case, if this was indeed the simulation theory.
I just feel like if there was a simulation theory, then why are we still have to be pregnant for 9 months before we give birth?
As part of it. I mean, you ever play Sims?
How
would you know?
Isn't it cop imitating life though?
But how would you know again if that wasn't part of the simulation?
Then they need to fix the simulation.
That's the truth. I mean, I'm going to send
Pause.
you. Yeah.
I gotta go use it.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Yeah. No,
and taxes? Why?
I know all of it. It's part of the simulation. But again, I am not I don't know what I believe as far as videos, but when you look at what is it? I can't remember. And I've been watching the guy's channel, and I'll send it to both you guys, and people are going to be yelling at me because they love the channel. They recommended it to me. Oh man. But the dude, he essentially presents these topics like it's almost like this kind of warped after school kind of program that he has. He's got like this little goldfish that he talks to, but he breaks down actual real topics like this, like one of these. And I'm gonna be mad at myself if I don't get his name. So hold on. All right, so the Y Files. It's the Y Files, and I would highly recommend people checking out the Y Files, especially that particular video. It's got like 9 million views. So when you look at like what Grand Theft Auto is doing, and what again in 100 years, people are going 100, try like 5 or 10. But imagine like 100 years, you put on the thing and you're actually in Florida now doing this. It's scary. When in general, especially with AI, like we don't even know what AI is going to do tomorrow, much less in,
right.
know? So it's nuts. So, but anyway, this video game comes out, breaks the records. How about you guys? Are you big Grand Theft Auto fans? Are you excited for it? What do you think? Are you going to be first in line? And why do you think, this is one of the things I guess would be so good to see in the comments, why do you think the trailer still to this day for the 6th video game, why do you think it's still resonating with people? Why do you think people still want to play it? Go ahead and let me know. And let's do one more, and we'll move out and we'll get out of here.
Maybe honestly, that's how I see socials and stuff this day and age. Is we build our own simulation when we buy into what we're looking at, and if it's not real, that's where you're like, oh, I just bought into something.
Right.
I just actually believed everything that's been displayed to me.
Right.
So that's simulation.
Yeah.
That's literally the definition of simulation.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
That's why when I got off of it, I felt like I
unplugged. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. You unplug for a little bit.
You notice some things in real world,
Yeah.
the tangible world, and with your real friends, the people that you actually communicate with, eye to eye versus screen to screen.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a difference of life.
It's no joke. My daughter, who is 12, when she connects with her friends on the internet and she's on for too long, she comes off and she's in a different mood, like not good. We unplugged her for like a week, and she was like, I got to talk to my friends. My voice to be social. I'm like, you got to unplug for a little bit. And she was in the best mood when you unplug her.
That's crazy.
And it's nuts. It's like we're not supposed to be.
all that stuff on your screen.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself, what's its intention?
Right.
And it's not necessarily to help you.
Right.
Right. It's the truth.
So it's you gotta then weigh it out. You gotta say, wait, if it's not there to help me, what do I gotta be careful about?
Yeah, it's the addicting portion of it, right? And that's the same thing that people don't realize it because it's a screen and it's not something you're injecting into your body, or it's not like it's an addiction. It really is, and it's the addiction for self-worth. It's you feel like people like, oh, I just got 3,000 likes on this one thing. Oh my God, I got to do it again, right? It can become that thing of, and it's a self-conscious thing of a lot of people who all of us as humans, we want to be liked, but it's also, and it's the same reason why you don't connect, where you can say something to someone on the internet and be like, oh, I can't really see their face, so F you, buddy, and you walk out, you can just destroy that person's day for the entire day.
Right, and then it's like this notion that we get mad at each other for people not saying what we want them to say, is the most entitled way of living.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't say exactly what I wanted, or you didn't even speak on an issue that I care about. And it's like, why does that person have to do that?
Right.
Why do you care so much?
If the world didn't share about how they felt, and instead in that time when they share about how they feel about anything, and took the moment that they do that share and invest 15 minutes to do something in the real world about that thing that they're about to share, the world would change in a day.
Yeah.
The world would change in a day.
But there's other people that wouldn't want that to happen because they're making money off of it. So
of course, you got to understand the intentions of what we're playing with.
Speaking of playing with, the last thing we're going to do, we've been playing Zelda for all your life. Sticking with the video games, man.
Hell yeah.
And I know Jamie definitely wanted to talk about Zelda.
I feel like you could play Zelda, man.
Not Zelda, Link.
Oh yeah, Link. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. But I could definitely see him playing.
Totally.
Yeah. They were gonna do, something with Link that I thought was pretty interesting. Before they launch this game,
Right.
they're gonna do a Link meets Captain America, and it's just Captain America kind of presenting his case to helping him on his mission. Do you want to
Okay.
hear a little bit of what?
Yeah.
All right, because this is Captain America's pitch to Link and why he should help.
Hello there, Link. If you're trying to figure out how to make this work, it's going to be impossible without the Infinity Gauntlet. So, find that first.
Good. That was it. That was it.
I don't know.
That was it. It was better than the other one that they pitched. They actually had Michael Douglas talking to Link. It didn't work as well.
Oh, I can see that.
I'll play that one. Hold
Okay.
on. Here we go.
All I gotta say, pal, is you better find Zelda quick. She's hanging out with some big green dude, and he doesn't look happy.
Let's see. I like that.
I didn't mind. I
liked
think that could have worked.
Could have worked. But let me tell you a little bit more about what's going on with live action Zelda. All right, live action Zelda. People are pumped for this one. This movie's going to make a lot of money if they do it right. Live action Zelda to be Miyazaki-esque. Here's the report by Garth Franklin over at Dark Horizons. Last month came some not unexpected news. In the wake of the success of the Super Mario Bros., Nintendo was moving forward with an adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. It wasn't another animated film, however. Rather, it's a live-action feature, and it is planning it with Sony Pictures and Nintendo. Both companies are co-financing, and with Shigeru Miyamoto and Arad set to produce. It was also revealed that at the time, the Maze Runner helmer, Wes Ball, had been set to direct from a script by Derek Connolly, who wrote Kong Skull Island and Jurassic World. That makes me nervous. Ball recently spoke with Entertainment Weekly about the film and says he sees the fantasy film as being less Tolkien and more Studio Ghibli inspired.
That's interesting
I
because
don't know
it's
if
an animated film.
I don't know if
I would be a little more comforted if they're like, we're going the Pan's Labyrinth route.
Yeah,
Right.
But let's see what they say. This awesome fantasy adventure movie that isn't like Lord of the Rings, it's its own thing. I've always said I'd love to see a live action Miyazaki. That wonder and whimsy that he brings to things, I would love to see something like that. It's going to be awesome. My whole life has led up to this moment. I grew up on Zelda, and it's the most important property. I think that it's an untapped IP, so we are very much working hard to do something. We're not just trying to do it because we can. We want to make something really special. Ball is currently in post-production on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which opens in cinemas in May, and he was asked if Zelda will be next for him. Apes is out. He says, we're working on the script, and whether it's the next one or not, it's hard to say exactly, but certainly the plan is, after Apes is done, to have a little bit of a rest for a moment and then dive into Zelda and hopefully give fans what they're hoping for, and also invite new people. I think Nintendo's desire is to introduce people to this world that's been around for 40 years. The game follows Link, the courageous Master Sword-wielding hero of the Kingdom of Hyrule, which also includes the wise Princess Zelda. On his adventures, Link clashes with the Dark Lord Ganondorf, who seeks the power of a sacred relic known as the Triforce. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I can't really judge it off comments. There's certain things I always want to see a more serious kind of Lord of the Rings-ish feel when it comes to fantasy, but okay, the comments are fine. I mean, again, I hope he seems passionate. The writer seems passionate about the property, so that's encouraging. And a lot of times, even though he might have those titles with Jurassic World and whatever the other one was, then I'm like, no, studio interference sometimes to where. But Steph, you hear this? Were you a Zelda fan?
No.
Okay.
I had never played it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just kind of an onlooker of it. But I
Right.
know but the same thing with like Last of Us, I never played it, but I was super interested in watching it.
So good movie's a good movie
Yeah,
when it comes out, right?
Totally. I'm a massive Studio Ghibli fan,
Okay.
obviously. Miyazaki is one of my favorite creators. But so even more so this year than ever, especially coming off the heels of Across the Spider-Verse, it's like sometimes I think a movie is best done animated because it's meant to be animated.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, prove me wrong. That would be great to see a live action Miyazaki that was better than that, but I don't think you can get better than what he did.
Well, but they're just kind of doing an homage to his stuff because
that's true.
Because Zelda is more so. I would much rather them do a live action, to be honest, because yes, you could do some stuff and probably do some fun stuff in the animated world, and they can make it work. But I think you're going to reach a bigger audience when you do the live action, and not that. Again, not taking anything from anime. You look at what Mario did a massive audience, but there's just something about creating a live action. Where do you stand on it? Would you rather see it on animated or would you rather see it live action?
I think the smart route would have been do a Miyazaki like show or feature animation first, and anime or something, and then be like, yeah, see, and everyone's like, hell yeah, about Zelda, and then like 2 years later they announce a live action.
Kind of both.
That would have been how I would approach it, because it's cheaper to go one route, to like kind of like throw what the fans have always wanted, which is see something where they bring the lore that's not there, it's not built. The lore is kind of just, it's always, if you're a real Zelda fan, like, oh man, they could do something with it if somebody stitched it all together. It's possible. It's like the potential's there, but it's not like anything built with a real linear to it. But it also has this life potential forever, because the idea of Link in Legend of Zelda is that it's Link's awakening. It's it can be a new actor every time they do it, because it's him coming to in a new period of time. Right. And then doing a journey, doing an adventure, and it's more like a Mad Max. That's how I've always looked at Zelda, like Mad Max, where it's Furiosa's story, it's Zelda's story, and then Max or Link gets to just show up and help be part of help it get done. Yeah, and be the side hero that helps bring it together or whatever. And so I think if they approached it like that, I think it'd be, man. But yeah, I hope they don't ruin it, because I mean.
Look, it seems like they're pretty excited about it. I'm excited about the Apes movie, but you guys, what do you think? Do you think this live action is the way to go? Should they done what Jamie said, done animated first? Where do you stand on it? What's your excitement for it in Zelda in general? I said we were going to go, but I actually do have something really special. I didn't realize that that I have Mrs. Doubtfire reviewing Godzilla Minus One. Mrs. Doubtfire has seen all of Godzilla Minus One, and I actually have that review right now, and I'd love to get her thoughts, because I know how much I think she liked it. But let me see, Mrs. Doubtfire, what did you think of Godzilla Minus One?
Oh, I saw Minus One last night, dear, and let me tell you, I'm minus nothing on that. I'm plus 100, dears. Let's go. Go back and enjoy some big old lizards.
What did you like about it? What did you think was so exciting about the movie itself?
Take away the lizard, and it's a good movie still, dear. Oh, definitely.
A lot of explosions going on in the movie?
Oh, yes. Watch out.
Okay. And then, so what would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, I would say if there was an 11, let's tune it all the way up.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Doubtfire. So, Jamie, what did you think about Mrs. Doubtfire? What did you think about Godzilla Minus One? Did it? Because I know you lived up to the hype. Hopefully, you saw me and.
I just saw it last night. Yeah. See it IMAX if you can. It's so worth every penny. And it feels, again, this is something that's huge right now for movies. If we feel respected, we're like, thank you.
Yes.
And it feels like it respects us and goes, there you go. Right. And like they went the extra mile to like slide us over something really special that we didn't ask for. And yeah, the holdovers,
yes.
Talk to Me are like my 3 favorites for the year. And
Talk to Me, the horror film?
Yeah. Okay. And but Godzilla, again, joking aside, take the lizard out, and
still a good movie.
It's actually so well written with the characters, the arcs.
Did you see it yet?
No, I'm so excited.
You better see it soon.
I'm gonna see it in IMAX.
You better see it soon. Yeah, because I think they extended the run for a little bit.
Right. I just saw that.
I heard something bizarre, like. Obviously, we know like Legendary and Warner Brothers like have like these. I think I may have heard from you. Like they have like huge budgets.
Yeah.
And then this movie did it with like they
15 mil.
Yeah, 15 mil.
So one of the things that people are going to write right away when they hear this, So understand, and I understand this as well too. Japan has a different system than we do here, with as far as you can work people overtime, not pay them. So
I see,
but that's not going to lend you to 200 million.
No,
even if it costs 100 million, even if they cut corners to $85 million, if they're able to cut $85 million, what would cost 100 here too? It's still 100 as opposed to 300 Indiana Jones, and it looks better than the majority of the big
going
budget.
Back in time.
I'm telling you, when you right. But that movie itself cost $300 million. Right. The freaking last Fast X, 380 or whatever it cost to make, something ridiculous. Whoa. This movie looked better than all of them. Another movie that I thought did it really well was The Creator. That movie cost like
haven't
85
seen
million. Cost 85 million to make, and it looked like it cost 200 million dollars to make. So you can use the budget in a way that will still make it look right. Because the thing is, you care about the characters more so. The gimmick in the Kong and Godzilla trailer is the fact that they're running together and it looks like Rocky and Apollo and the thing, but it's like you're not going to get a lot of substance in that movie. You're going to go there to shove popcorn in your face, and then it's a summer movie.
My heart in my chest, and I don't have this much in movies these days, but I was like nervous.
Yeah.
In that movie,
Yeah,
I was watching, and I was literally like sweating.
Yeah.
Like Godzilla in this one is not your friend.
Right.
It's
a monster.
You literally freaked out if he's around the corner.
So I said to my daughter, I took Vivi to see it on her birthday, and she had just watched Jaws. She watched
There's
Jaws.
some Jaws.
Oh, total. So way more so than like the Godzilla Gareth Edwards movie tried to be Jaws.
Yeah.
This movie has like Jaws elements without really trying to be Jaws.
Yeah.
And like I said to Viv, because Viv liked Jaws a lot, but she's like, because my wife and I were like, you're gonna be really scared. And she's like, I wasn't that scared, guys, when she watched Jaws, and she loved it. She loved it, but she wasn't scared. I said to her, when I leaned over to her, I go, "What's scarier, this or Jaws?" She goes, yeah. She was locked in.
Great.
But they made it scary.
But the theme. The
Yeah,
themes
the
were
old
like
school theme too.
plots.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they just really wrote it well, man. And I just sorely appreciate that film.
You need to see it like
I'm so excited.
ASAP.
I'm gonna see it this weekend.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was it for today. A little bit of a longer episode, but excited to do so. Steph, where can the people find you?
At Steph Sabra.
That's it.
That's it.
Easy enough. Jamie Costa. So you're not on the socials, but where can people go and find it if they want to go to support your stuff?
Well, YouTube is where I post like films, and if you're one of the 10 people that look at a community tab, I post on there. And the new campaign, go pledge towards Halfway Handsome if you want to laugh.
That's going to be in the link in this video too, by the way.
And YouTube is mainly where you can find me, or hopefully on places like this where we get to talk about stuff.
And we'll do it again for sure, guys. So make sure you do that. Support Jamie and his show. And you're going to see Steph on the show too, which would be even better. So if you're able to support our show, and you can, please do so by getting one of our wonderful sponsors. It really does help the show more than you can even imagine.
If you're a fan of Jamie, which you may not be, but you got to follow my boy. So if y'all are coming over here from my channels, Harloff and I, you probably know us from way back together, but yes.
We've done tons of stuff together. We'll do tons of stuff more. Congratulations to all your success. I'm super, super happy for you. You know I'm always rooting for you. And I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing next. So guys, make sure, again, follow both these wonderful people. Thank you. Leave comments. If you haven't done it already, that swirling thing means subscribe to the channel, be part of the community. And we'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
Especially if you want to see Steph make you giggle.
Yes.